Doctor, doctor, can't you see I'm burning, burning? Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Well, with the words of the song of the Thompson Twins echoing in my ear and yours too. Look at this, obviously ICM, I've got friends in Ukraine, must have heard I needed to see the doctor urgently. So they've sent the doctor's car around. How excellent is that? So we're going to have a look at this and do a quick review of it. Now I want to talk about ICM a little bit, just generally at the beginning actually. Yes, for those of you that will be asking, I'm soldiering through at the moment. I don't want to talk about my medical trouble today, but yeah, my back is definitely improving a little bit. Bruising's gone on my right arm, but my left foot is still giving me trouble. It's just going to take time, but it is less swollen than it was. There's definite improvement. I've just got to be careful with it, and it's very important what shoes I wear, by the way. If I wear my normal trainers, which are quite tight on where I got the crack, that's not good. So I'm wearing sandals, open sandals, which are actually working quite well. Anyway, enough of that. So ICM then. A couple of things I want to talk to you about, and a couple of things that they would like me to mention to you. We'll come back to that in a second. First of all, you may recall, I did just a few weeks ago, we had the slightly delayed festive turkey dinner. Delayed, of course, because the problems that were inflicted upon ICM through no fault of their own whatsoever last summer. And this item arrived a little bit late for Christmas, but it was it was a brilliant set. It was really excellent. It was the one with the American truck, and it had the soldiers that were taking a break, and all the cooks and the ovens. And you may recall, very bizarrely, a real one-off in my experience, there was a part missing, and it wasn't in the bags either. It was just missing off the sprue, and it was the chef's. I think it was the chef's left arm. Or was this some sort of portent of trouble to come for me? Arm missing. Oh. Anyway, bad omen that was. Anyway, I mentioned it to them, and they said, "Oh, yeah, no problem." So they've actually sent me. I just want to talk about this and give you a bit of a heads up. They very kindly sent me a complete replacement sprue, and it was only the one part that was missing, and I said, "Oh, that's very generous of you, thank you," but you know, it was just the one part. You see, it says replacement in it, and it has definitely got, where's his arm, the missing arm. I think it's this one, I think, if I remember correctly. I think this is the missing arm and it's all complete here now, of course. It's got the code number on it. Now they wanted to make because obviously it's fantastic customer service. Now bearing in mind, some of you are obviously not in the UK or Europe. Some of you are, many of you good friends of mine, or a place like Canada or Australia, all over the globe. And it's this thing we've talked about before. How do you get on if you're not close to the manufacturer? I did talk previously about Airfix and I did have some misgivings about that, because they're very, very good with their service, for example, but that's more if you're in the UK. It's a little bit more complicated if you're further afield. But anyway, so ICM, I think, picked up on this theme, given that we'd had a genuine issue. And they said, look, can you make people aware for us that it's very important that if they have an issue like that, they're very few and far between, because their quality control seems amazing, quite frankly, as we know. But if you do have an odd item that's got some sort of unusual glitch or a bit missing, as we have there, please can you get in touch with them? And the best way to do that is through your local distributor. So in the UK, that's the guys I was talking about last week, Hobbyco, of course, when I was talking about my magnets problem from Tamiya. So in the UK, if you have any issues with any of the ICM range, Hobbyco are now the main importer and distributor for them, and they are very helpful, as you'll have already gathered from my it ties in quite well with what we're talking about here. But obviously we've already had some great service from them. I dealt with Nick, and he was very nice, by the way. He sent me another email saying, "Oh, I didn't realise you've been ill. I'm very sorry to hear that." Blah blah blah. Anyway, he was very helpful and couldn't have been better, you know. So if you have any issue, the only proviso that I should make a statement about for them is that they were very clear about, it's important that you did buy your kit. If you've got a problem with a kit, it's very important. They'll only recognise claims for, you know, spare parts if it was a kit that was bought new from a model shop or online store that came via the UK distributor. If you're selling second-hand stuff on eBay, you can't expect the manufacturer to go to the time and trouble that they've gone to here. And by the way, when I said to her, "Oh, by the way, it's on his arm," she said, "Yeah, but very understandably, she said, it's just quicker and easier for us to just replace the sprue. We know then you're happy, and we don't have to spend time, you know, cannibalising odd sprues and things, which makes complete sense. So again, as I say, if you're in the UK, Hobbyco, I don't know the distributors around the world, but if you look it up on ICM's website, they give a list of all their distributors. And they'll be only too happy in each respective country to help you, as I say, provided you bought it through one of the recognised outlets, you know, little shops, online hobby shops or whatever, rather than, you know, second-hand or car boot sale or something. So there we go. So you can see how, you know, that was pretty rapid, I thought. I mean, it's only about 3 weeks since I noticed that we had the problem, so it's brilliant. Couldn't be more helpful. So I shall pop that in with the kit, which is just over there on the shoulder, and all is well. It's got the knife for chopping the turkey, big knife. It looks deadly, to be honest, like a dagger, big kitchen knife. Anyway, that's that. So that was the first thing. The second thing was ICM are very proud to announce that something that they did allude to about a year or so ago now has finally come to fruition and will be appearing at the end of April. And they wanted me to show you their new items, which I think are rather exciting. So let me zoom you in for this. And this one you're going to like, especially because the timing is good. Just a week ago I showed you the big, the CH54, or the C54 I think they call it, don't they? The S54. The civilian version of the Tahi or Sky Crane helicopter. Well, look at this. If you enjoyed that but you thought like me, but it's a bit big, we have a solution. Look at this. Coming in a few short weeks, we've got the answer to your dreams. Check this out, eh? It is. Whoops, there we go. Zoom back a little bit. See what you see. Look, 70-second scale. Now here's a big, sexy and really interesting chopper that everybody can enjoy. It's brand new tool, just coming out in April, end of April, and it'll be in the shops end of April, early May, just after Easter. So, you know, save your Easter money. Don't ask for an Easter egg. Ask for one of these. And if you contact your local model distributor, model shop, etc., you'll be able to get your hands on this pretty sure. And it says, first 1/72nd scale helicopter, scale model I think ever of the Tahi heavy lifting chopper. Helicopter structural elements are accurately produced, including the transmission, the cargo winches, and the landing gear. Model features detailed rivet detail on the fuselage. Can be built with the engine filters or without. And includes 2 landing gear strut options. Oh, different landing gears. And it includes a decal sheet with 4 different markings from different time periods. How about that? That is going to be something else. So that's that one, which I thought was absolutely epic. So if that's not great, have a look at this. Check this one out. Then we've got another variant of the Hamden coming forward, Churchill's Flying Suitcase, which was the nickname for the Hamden. If I'm honest with you, on this particular one, I'm not quite sure which variant that is relative to the other one, so you'll have to forgive me because I haven't quite got my head around that yet. But there's a third Hamden coming. Then we've got Loose, Attacker. Now this is the Germans in the trenches in World War One. This is nice. So you've got a 4-figure set of German stormtroopers from the late part of the First World War with gas masks. They're all wearing gas masks. They're in a trench. Equipment is typical of the Germans have, including one's got a Luger, 2 of them have got potato masher hand grenades, and one's got the Maxim type machine gun, which name was just eluded me. Dynamic scene during a gas attack. Wow, I mean, very animated. And if you saw my review of the Miracle on the Marne, that will go perfectly with that set. Absolutely brilliant, you know. I do like their figures, you know. Obviously it's 35th scale. So that's a really nice set and definitely one to consider. But last but not least, wait till you see this one. This one's going to blow your mind. Some more figures. Something we've all been waiting for. You ready? I think this is going to bring a smile to everybody's face. Just you wait and see. Here we go. You ready? Here it comes. The Gangsters. And we are featuring, if you look very carefully, Look closely, featuring Warren Beatty, maybe Faye Dunaway, I'm not sure about the lady, Faye Dunaway or similar, with bags of swag, dropping money behind her, running out of the bank. She's just behind her. Look at that. And then finally, Public Enemy's Johnny Depp with his Thompson machine gun, and also got a big leather bag of swag. Oh, I'm going to make it a big joke of this because, of course, we had the gangster car, and I'm sure they'll probably do a set where they combine them, you know. So we had the gangster car, and now we've got the actual figures to go with it. And the laughing woman who's the gangster's mole, you know, with the bags of money. It's funny, isn't it? That is absolutely brilliant. And if that's not good enough, how does it say? It says 3 gangster figures. Let's zoom in. Just so you can enjoy the picture. So look at my mug. Here you go. Let's just enjoy it again because it's such a good one. This. It just made me roar with laughter, especially when I saw the faces, you know. Oh, God, I know exactly who they are. And it says, 2 men and a woman depicting a dynamic robbery scene. The set includes Thompson submachine guns, also known as Tommy guns, with 2 different magazine types. Yeah, one's got the straight. Oh, it shows them both with the drum, but I think they're giving you straight and drum. Along with money bags. The kit lets you create an engaging composition depicting a crime scene from the mid-20s to 1930s. You've got to laugh at that, haven't you? I mean, just look at it. You look at the faces. Look, if that's not Johnny Depp, I don't know who it is. And that is definitely Warren Beatty, isn't it? Look at that. Just not sure about the girl though. Any of you that are more akin, more au fait, I should say, with Hollywood actresses from the sort of 50s, 60s, 70s. She reminds me of somebody else, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But she's almost got this maniacal laugh, hasn't she? Saying, I've got all the money, I'm a millionaire, you know. Warren Beatty looks very serious. Johnny Depp looks like he's about to waste everybody. So that's that. And then finally, if that weren't great enough, they have even gone to the length of a proper acrylic paint set to go with it. Look at that. Acrylic paint set for gangsters, including the deep red for the lady's dress. And she's got this like a scarf, deep blue scarf. And then you've got the sort of leather brown and just the general sort of whites for the shirts and things. They don't seem to have a colour for their suits, do they? But brilliant for the gangster set. Look at that. I mean, they're really on the ball, aren't they, these guys? I think that they're tuning in now to the fact that, you know, there is a humour, and goodness knows they need a bit of humour more than anybody with what they're going through. But tuning into a bit of humour, everybody enjoys it. I think these are going to sell like hotcakes, these gangsters. Because we had the set come out from Mini Art, but they were 48 scale. So it didn't work with the car, did it? Which was the problem that we had, really. So obviously the 24 scale set goes with the 24 scale car. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's going to be something that we can all get a set of them and have some fun. Watch this space. We'll be seeing that very, very soon. Anyway, I need the doctor for reasons already previously explained, and here he is. Now, I've got to say, this reminds me an awful lot of, was it Camberwick Green? Camberwick Green, wasn't it? The original BBC children's series where the doctor had this sort of big long beard and his big medical bag and a stethoscope, and I'm pretty sure he was driving one of these. Let's see what it says. So it's based on the Ford Model T from 1918, and it says as follows. Sorry, I'm still trying not. I'm going to have to have a quick cup of tea, just trying to stop laughing about the gangsters. I think it's the maniacal laughing of the girl. Oh, very like, you know, Faye Dunaway was in Bonnie and Clyde. The 2 guys look really serious, and she's like it's a big joke. Right, so the doctor then that I need. Model of the 1918 Model T Doctors Coupe, a passenger car that serves as very typical transportation for rural doctors. Well, that's me, rural. I don't get a visit to my house, there I can tell you. Accurate reproduction of the real car's geometry and proportions. Highly detailed engine, suspension and body. Includes decals and license plates for various United States in around 1918. 98 parts. That's brilliant. Let's have a look at this then. So on the side, it does look like Camberwick Green, doesn't it? Those of you that are British will know what I'm talking about. It's a children's series, animated children's series of the very early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. which I grew up on, and I think there was a crossover, wasn't there, with Trumpton, whereby they were supposed to be like neighbouring villages, you know, in towns. Well, anyway, enough of my childhood TV preferences. Let's get into this car. Need cheering up. I need the help of the doctor. It's going to be really good. Got to be careful. I've got a new blade in here. Ooh, it's very sharp. I'm doing that now. That is super sharp. I don't have to put any pressure on for it to cut. Whoa, that is like a knife through butter. I'm sure we don't use this more than we have to. Whew, look at the laser beam. Taking a lightsaber to it, that one. Right then. It's a pity there isn't a doctor figure. I wonder if they'll do one of those. That would have been quite cool, wouldn't it? Doctor with his medical bag, you know, stethoscope around his. And he had a big stovepipe hat, if you remember, in Camberwick Green. Black waistcoat, black stovepipe hat, etc. Well, it shouldn't take too long. Right, let's see what we got then. One bag of sprues, of which there are 3, 4 of them clear parts. Let's see what it says then. So it says Doctors Coupe 1918 Model T from Ford. In 1913, Henry Ford launched the world's first moving assembly line at his automobile factory, achieving technological revolution. The Model T became the first mass-produced automobile in the world. By the following year, it accounted for 56% of all cars manufactured in the United States. Model T's widespread adoption stemmed not only from the high production numbers, but also from its exceptional quality. The car featured a chassis and mechanical components made of strong, high-quality steel. It also had a compact 4-cylinder engine with the first ever removable cylinder head. One variant, the Model T Coupe, was an enclosed automobile with a single seat and a trunk in the rear. This model became very popular amongst rural doctors. Ford's reliability allowed them to reach their destinations quickly. The enclosed body provided comfort in bad weather, and the trunk carried additional medical equipment that wouldn't fit into an ordinary medical bag. Thanks to the doctors who drove it, the Ford Model T earned the name the Doctor's Coupe. And it was basically a 4-cylinder engine with 20 horsepower. Good gracious. Maximum speed 70 k's. That's about 45 mile an hour, isn't it? 50 mile an hour nearly. It's not bad, you know. It's adequate, isn't it? That. I mean, that's kind of around the speed limit in the UK for most roads anyway. Well, you know, there are 60 open roads, I know, but around most rural environments it's 40 normally. So there you go. Amazing, right? And it says the recommended set doesn't have a specific colour set. It just recommends what they think you should use. And of course we've got some decals, and yes, not much to say about them really. Just some registration numbers. Nevada. Actually, you're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to need my big glasses for this. Just hold on a second. This is small, okay? This is small. Let's have a look. What does that say? Pennsylvania, Nevada, DKLA. Don't recognise them all. Ohio, is it? Idaho. Idaho? Pennsylvania. Gosh, that's really hard to follow. Let me just get my big zoomies on because I'm really struggling here. CDNN. Oh no, Connecticut, sorry. So it's Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Nevada, and DKLA. DKLA, the experts and Americans amongst you will have to explain that one. Maybe it's just LA, or part of LA. Right, sorry about that. That was challenging. Now then, so what we got here is got our sprue tree map, which is fairly straightforward. So I say there's 3 plastic sprues plus clear parts, and then we're going to build up our radiator into the front grille, and then you've got the basic chassis complete with the outrunners, mudguards, dropping in your engine, Is that the engine or the gearbox? That's the sump actually. Okay, that's interesting. You drop the sump in and then the engine drops in on top of the sump. That's quite clever. So you build up your 4-cylinder engine, 20 horsepower engine. Very conventional, inline 4 with a fan at the front, etc. Water cooled, and then you drop that in, and plus you've got your exhaust system going in here as well. Dropping in the exhaust there. And then we've got the carburettor, looks like, yeah, carburettor going in. You've got the panel at the back of the engine to form the bulkhead scuttle. Then we've got our prop shaft to drive the rear wheels, rear wheel drive of course, and rear axle, exhaust and silencers going in, a couple of bracing bars that go across the back of the chassis there, steering rack at the front. That looks very nice and straightforward, this. And then we've got our is that the rear number plate? Rear number plate, so a strange mounting. Okay, I suppose I didn't have anywhere else to put it. Number plate at the back, wheels and tyres going in here. Then we've got the, what is that? Is that the battery? The battery, I think. Battery mounting in here. Completely much bigger battery than what we're used to today, of course. And then we've got our rear trunk going in at the back, popping that in here. And then we've got handbrake, clutch, brake, accelerator. Very conventional, really, the layout. It's quite. You can see why it was popular, the Ford Model T, can't you? Because it's simple. You've got the internal sides of the, basically the interior of the cabin. Same on the opposite side, on the left-hand side. And then you've got this very strange shaped rear wall, so to speak. And then you bring all those three together here. Then we've got the windshield. You can have the windshield open, you can tilt it open, and you've got the dashboard. So the windshield has got a wiper that's a manual wiper. I think it's a hand wiper rather than electric. It's bringing your cabin in there, dropping it on the chassis. Then you've got, strange the way they've done this in terms of order. You put the seat in after. How odd. And then you've got your steering wheel, complete with your, I think it's got indicators, and the gear selector is on the column. And you've got your cowling for your engine at the front, bringing that down on top here. Then you've got the seat back going in, having to be dropped in. Very strange, isn't it? You think you'd do that first, wouldn't you? Then you've got your windows coming in down below here on the sides. So there's like a quarter light window at the back. And then you've got your headlamp, which is basically, I think on these, is it electric or is it like a gas lamp? I think it is electric. I think it's probably dynamo driven one, to be honest. And then we have a roof coming on the top. And more lights, so you've got headlights, and well, the side lights and headlights, aren't they? So those are your side lights that go a bit higher up. And then you've got your headlights going on there. And then you've got your, like a toolbox at the side. And just your headlight lenses, and that's your Model T completed, which is very straightforward really, wasn't it? Okay, so you can have any colour you want as long as it's black, as Henry Ford famously said. Obviously you got an absolute incredible deal on black paint. must have got the deal of the century, but I don't know, 200 or 300 tons of black paint. Incredible, isn't it? Really amazing. Now today, you know, you can pay £40,000-50,000 for a paint job. You know, optional paint. I don't mean on a Ford, but you know what I mean. I mean, even on my Porsche, I think there were options that were £4 or £5 for paint. Ridiculous. Well, let's have a look at this then. I always think that Henry Ford, I think, I mentioned my Porsche, but for me they should always be silver Porsches. I think they always look best in silver. I really do. I just think it suits the brand somehow. That's why I was attracted to mine. Now then, let's have, oh, this is lovely. Don't forget this is a new kit. Let's have a look at this. Look at the running boards on the side. You can see where you jump on the the sideboard to get in, and it's got like a high grip surface here. So we've got our main chassis there, and you've got your cowlings for the engine there with the grills at the side. That's your toolbox at the side. Inside of the doors, here and here. Then we've got, look at this beautiful shaping of it, yeah? This is the back window and the back of the cabin. I mean, I guess the water would just run down. That's one of the ideas here, I think, so the water would run away. And it's got great shape to it, hasn't it? You know, the Ford T. Look at that. It's actually quite sculptured, isn't it, really? It's quite elegant. There's your roof top. And then we've got a couple of the controls and the steering column. And then over here we've got the bench seat and the seat back. And bench seat so you can slide across. I mean, you get 2 people in there, probably not 3. It's not a big car, is it? It's really for 2 people, isn't it, max? Then we've got our engine and our sump. It's the transmission, isn't it, actually? It's a sump and the transmission here. And there's your engine. And then we've got all the other exciting bits here. So we've got our wheels and tyres, which are all moulded nicely in plastic. Haven't got a huge amount of tread on them. They're almost like a bicycle tyre, aren't they, really, or a motorbike tyre. Did Ford have them made specially? I think he probably did, because I think they were an unusual size at the time that this thing, you know, when cars first came out. You couldn't just swap it off a wagon or whatever, because I think they were completely different sizes. And then here we've got our grille. Got the steering wheel. Look at that. Steering wheel. Oh. And you've got your fan here, cooling fan. You've got your engine sides, the block. A couple of spades, I didn't notice that. It's got a spade. I don't think you use the spade on this variant though. I think this is off the other version. It's just a general Ford Model T sprue. Yeah, there we go. And then you got this is your transmission, prop shaft here. T differential at the back. And you've got your rear axle, your leaf springs. Look at that. And that's the fuel tank, would you believe? It's not very big, is it? What would that hold? About 3 gallons? Not many. Maybe more than that. Maybe 6 gallon tank. And then you've got your exhaust system running to the back of the car from the engine. And then over here you've got the top of the cylinder block here. Cylinder head. Removable cylinder head, remember? It's really nice, isn't it? Isn't that cute? And then last but not least we have got our clear parts, which we'll have a little crafty look at. And I suspect they're going to be well up to the usual standard. Yeah, those are very nice. Very nice. It's fairly straightforward and a flat, isn't it, really? Wow. What a nice little model. Yeah, you could use that Ford Model T with the gangsters if you wanted to. You know, those gangster figures that are coming. They will interact and interchange with any model of the era, you know. They didn't all have big Buicks, gangsters. They had any car that was going. Probably stolen. Stolen from a doctor. Oh, no. I need the doctor to come see me. Well, what do you think of that? It's pretty impressive, isn't it? It's a nice set, that. And it's the sort of thing it can be a weekend build, really. It's quite a few small parts, though. It's not overly simplified. You know, it's got the detail. There's no question about that. So I'm quite impressed with that, I've got to say. And it's only retailing this kit, I think it's about £20, £23, something like that. So it's a real bargain in the UK. What is not to like there, really? So that is the Doctors Coupe 1918 Ford Model T. For those of you who want to relive your childhood, I had a similar one to me with it in Camberwick green and Thompson. That's the model for you, isn't it? The doctor's car. You just need the doctor figure with his beard and his stovepipe hat. I'm going to give it 10 out of 10 because, yeah, I don't think that the lack of instruction detail is any detriment to this kit, to be honest. Just a really nice model, really nice model. And as I say, you could, if you wanted to, use it with your... I said your gangsters, but they're 24 scale, aren't they? I just realised, yeah. So actually, no, they won't cross over because that's a different scale. And were they... I'm just thinking, were the mini art ones, were they actually... I said 48 scale, but I think I'm wrong, aren't I? Did I mean 35th scale? I've got a feeling that they were 35th scale. Why don't I have a quick look at this just to check and see? Mini art. Bear with me, just bear with me a second. Mini art gangsters. Mini art gangsters. Here we are. Yeah, right, the 35th scale. That was the problem. They were 35th scale, so they would go with this. So you could actually get them. Mini art figures. Don't tell ICM I said that. But they're doing 24 scales to go with their own model. So that you could use them. You could interchange them into use them if you like, and do it that way. Anyway, doesn't matter because they've got a gangster car, haven't they? And now they've got gangsters to go with it. So watch this space for toward the end of the year. I'm fully expecting we might see a set of both. You know. Beautiful models, beautiful models. 10 out of 10. Thank you very much to ICM for providing the kit. Very, very impressive indeed. And they provided a few other interesting ones for us to have a look at. So stay tuned, and I'll be back very soon. Don't forget to give us a like. Very important that you do. A lot of people don't give likes, even though they'll sit and watch right to the end. Sometimes in live chat they'll watch right through. It's very important you give a like because it helps the YouTube algorithm. I haven't got much faith in that these days, but I've seen how it's done strange things. In the 12 months when I was rapidly gaining subscribers, you come to not believe what you see anymore because I was rapidly gaining subscribers, and as soon as I got to about 10,500, it's as though it almost stopped. And I've only gained 1,000 subscribers in 12 months, which is the lowest rate ever. Doesn't make any sense because the interest of the actual viewings I get on my videos is as high as ever. There's been no drop off of interest, so it doesn't make any sense, does it? I just think it's either if it is true, it's because they're not offering it to people. And I have perhaps a very loyal nucleus of people that do watch my stuff, but then they don't offer it to new potential viewers. I think that may be true. Don't know. But anyway, we'll look at that another day, I think. So please, stick around because I've got some more to show you. I think you're going to enjoy it. More figures, more planes, all sorts of things, more vehicles. Until next time, thanks very much for joining me. Take care of yourselves. Stay well, stay safe, not like I did. And I'll see you very soon. Thanks a lot in the meantime. Take care of yourselves and bye for now.